We just got a brand new Sparking Zero trailer with a ton of new reveals and a little bit of a worrisome ending to the roster at the end, because it leaves me wondering, are we going to have enough room for all the characters that we want? So I want to break down the trailer and then get into my roster prediction and where I think the roster will end up at and why I'm probably not a big fan of that. I think there are some problems with it. So let's go ahead and launch off with the Trunks, Sword, Super Saiyan, and Mecha Frieza reveals. And then we have King Cold. Now the interesting thing here is that this is specifically King Cold from the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. You can see like his wrist is different, the colors are different, the cape, you know, the different extra buttons and things like that. So I think it's interesting that they're using the Super Broly King Cold design, but for people that are a little bit confused, we still have DBZ Bardock in his DBZ design. So maybe that they're going to have a Super Bardock skin for the DBZ Bardock. I'm not sure, but I don't think this is meaning that they're only going to stick with the Super Continuity stuff, because like I said, we already have DBZ Bardock revealed. So don't get your hopes up for like a DBS Bardock main skin or whatever if you think that's the case. If anything, he'll probably be an alternate skin for DBZ Bardock. Then we have Dr. Gero, of course, Android 19, big reveal there, because honestly they could have cut Android 19 and nobody would have complained, but you know, it makes sense for him to be part of the game. He's basically been in every game. We had Android 18 and Android 17 officially revealed, which is cool. Some people were speculating that maybe they would be alternate skins for the super versions. Now this is the more worrisome one that people were worried about, was Piccolo fused with Kami. A lot of people were speculating that maybe they got rid of End Piccolo, but no, that's not the case. All they did was basically change his name to Piccolo fused with Kami. So for you End Piccolo fans, don't worry, he is still in the game officially. Then we have Cell first form here, which is very interesting to see, because for a moment there he wasn't really in the games, and now he's in the games. I remember Xenoverse 2 had first form Cell, but Xenoverse 1 didn't have first form Cell, and now we're getting second form Cell in this one. So anyway, Android 16 revealed here. And then we get second form Cell revealed. Pretty cool looking, honestly. I kind of like the design. I know a lot of people don't like the design, but I kind of like the design, if I'm being honest. Then we have Cell Perfect Form, which is interesting because later on in the video you'll see that they also have Perfect Cell. Now I know that's Super Perfect Cell. We get some different naming for different dubs, things like that. Different video games have different names for them, different localizations. So if you're confused, this is basically the final form Cell right here, and then the Super Perfect Cell, or just the, you know, Ultra Divine Perfect Cell, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, he's got different names. He's at the end of the trailer there. But another thing I wanted to go over is that we had Super Saiyan Teen Gohan revealed here. He looks pretty cool, all things considered. They didn't do a title card for the base Gohan, which is interesting. They got a Cell Junior reveal as well, but they do have base Gohan on the official roster. So I mainly said that because Xenoverse 2 didn't have base Gohan, they just had Super Saiyan Gohan. So it's cool that we're getting base Gohan, Super Saiyan Gohan, and then Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. So that's nice to see. And I understand why they don't have base Gohan, because in the anime, Gohan basically wasn't seen in his base form until the fight ended with Cell. And then we also have Super Saiyan 2 Gohan revealed here. A lot of people were saying that he's a little bit too short. They're saying that he should be a little bit taller. They're saying that he's as short as Gohan is in the Frieza Saga and Cell Saga. I don't know if I agree with that, but I do think he could just be a little bit taller to correspond with his height in DBZ as a teenager. And then, you know, the trailer kind of draws some stuff out. We don't really get any new character reveals here. We just get some cutscenes and things like that. And then boom, here's the last character reveal of the trailer. Perfect. Cell. And then when you look at the roster at the end, it leaves something to be desired. Now, I'm not saying this is a bad roster or anything. This is still a pretty big roster, and I'm still impressed with how many characters that they've done. But there are 34 slots left, and I thought to myself, hold up, if there's only 34 slots left, does that really leave enough room for all the characters that we want? I mean, I know people want GT characters. I know Sean Schemmel has kind of teased that we're going to be getting some GT characters. So I thought to myself, is that all that we're getting? And today, at the end of this video here, I wanted to go over my predictions for the final roster of the game. So starting it off, we have OG Kid Goku from Dragon Ball and the Great Ape Goku. I think those are basically guaranteed. because we've already seen Kid Goku in one of the screenshots in the gameplay. So I think he's basically been teased out enough. We also have Kid Chi-Chi. I don't think she's going to get cut. I thought maybe she would be cut, but I'm thinking now maybe not. General Blue and Mercenary Tao are mainly because of what we got in the recent news of the lead of marketing at the San Diego Comic-Con thing, basically saying, you know, we'll have Mercenary Tao and Red Ribbon Army people. So I thought, okay, maybe this guy's got inside information, of course, because he's part of the marketing. A lot of people were also speculating that maybe he was just talking with no real credibility, but you got to remember he's the head of marketing, so I'm thinking he must have information. They must have told him things, because you're selling a game, you're marketing a game. You don't want to just give false information unless you just made a big mistake. Then we also have Gohan, Peel Off Machine, and Demon King Piccolo. So I do think that they're going to cut Nam, Android 8, Arale, characters like that probably, and Devilman. I don't think that they'll have those characters for their OG Dragon Ball just because of all the other characters that they have to fit into the roster. And then Dragon Ball Z, we got Great Saiyaman. Now, he was revealed in a Twitter video, but he wasn't ever added to the official roster at the end of the trailers, so that's why I'm putting him here. Same thing with Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and Ultimate Gohan hasn't been revealed yet. Supreme Kai obviously makes sense because he fights Deborah alongside Gohan, so it made sense to put him there. Babidi, I think, is going to be in the game. Evil Boo, of course, Super Boo, we got Boo-Han, Boo-Tanks, and then Kid Boo, kind of, you know, I think they're pretty much guaranteed locked in. Then we have Oob. Now, this is supposed to be Oob from the end of Z, but he's got his little gi on from the GT anime. That's because of just all these icons here. I added a few icons like Great Ape, Goku, and Chi-Chi, and General Blue and Supreme Kai, but other than that, I didn't feel like adding a lot more, so I just used the GT Oob, but this is supposed to be end of Z Oob. And then for Dragon Ball Super, we have Jocko, we got Champa, Vados, Kaba, Super Saiyan Kaba, Super Saiyan 2 Kaba. Then we have Frost. We got the final form Frost and then the buff Frost. Now, I'm not using the third form of Frost just because I don't think that they would add the third form of Frost. Honestly, if I'm being completely blunt, he was only in it for like a few seconds and it wasn't really impactful. I could be wrong. I know they're using all the forms of Frieza, but all the forms of Frost aren't really memorable. We skipped the second form entirely, so I don't think that they would include his third form. Then I'm going to go ahead and include the Namekians. On the list, they have them in one icon. I think they'll be separated into two different characters, and I think they'll be included simply to give Gohan and Piccolo more action during the Tournament of Power at the end of the game, whenever you're going through that last arc, you know. And then we also have the God of Destruction, Toppo. And I can't remember if that's actually his form or if it's just like his destruction aura or things like that. But I went ahead and added that as well because I think that makes sense because we have base Top. Now we're going to have this version of Toppo as well. And I say both names, Toppo, Top, whichever one you prefer. And then, most controversial choice, I think Broly is probably going to be our only DBZ movie character at launch, simply because at launch we already have DB Super Broly, and they are very specific in calling him Super Broly, so I think that we're going to be getting base Broly, Super Saiyan Broly, and then Legendary Super Saiyan Broly from the Dragon Ball Z movies, and that will probably be our only movie character at launch, and they'll probably do more post-DLC. So altogether, these are 34 characters to finish out the roster. I think it makes sense that we'll see a lot of these Buu Saga characters in the next trailer. So I think all these characters will probably be revealed in the next trailer. I left out characters like Kui Kui and Yakon because I don't think that they'll be in the game. Again, if they are, that would make sense because they are battles that take place in the anime. But I was trying to think, some of these characters had to fit. Now, if they do include Kui Kui or Yakon, then they'll probably get rid of characters like Chi-Chi and the Peel-Off Machine. So that could be a course of action that they take. And as far as GT characters go, I thought about it. You would have to use 4 different Gokus, and that would really take up a lot of space on this roster. You'd have to cut 4 characters from here as well, and I could see them cutting Vados and Champa, and, you know, like I said, Peel-Off Machine and Chi-Chi to make room for all these 4 different Gokus. But then again, you would also have to think, are they really going to add one GT Goku and his Super Saiyan forms as the GT representation in the game? So I do think that they are going to end up making GT DLC as well, which I would not be entirely against if I'm being honest. I'm just glad to get GT eventually, and we do have speculation that we're going to be getting GT because of Sean Schemmel basically leaking that he voiced Super Saiyan 4 in the game. Anyways, guys, this is going to be the end of the video. This is basically my last roster prediction because I think that after next month's trailer, we'll probably have a easier time of guessing who the final characters are going to be revealed in the final trailer. I do think that we're going to get another trailer maybe early October to basically finish out the game and all the marketing. But anyway, yeah guys, that's the end of the video. A bit of a more messier video this time. I do like to do these breakdowns just straight off the dome and you know, just recording off the monitor and getting a look at the trailer and just going in the motions. Also, there is no smoke alarm in the background. For those of you that have commented about my smoke alarm, I actually went through a lot of trouble to get it replaced because it's basically, you don't see it, but basically it's like behind my desk and everything, so I had to pull my desk out, and I have OCD, so I was like really concerned about having my desk put right back in the same spot. I shouldn't say I have OCD, but you know, I'm not diagnosed with OCD, but it's the whole thing of, you know how some people say my OCD is flaring up or whatever. So I don't literally have OCD, but I was very concerned with having my desk in the same spot. So it was kind of an inside joke for a while that my smoke alarm kept going off in the videos, and I would comment back to people and talk about it. But I think things are going good now. I ended up just, you know, turning the smoke alarm off and back on, and it's a lot to go into at the end of this video. But yeah, basically, you guys know the deal. No more smoke alarm for the time being. So I hope those of you that it annoyed, I hope that I fixed it, and you know, you guys are good now. Anyways, guys, that'll be it for this video. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to keep up to date with all things Dragon Ball news and commentary. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace off.